Hey folks, we got a young kid who's got a fever. He's sick. We're gonna try to figure this out. There he is. There's our young guy. I like your shoes. Those look like the kind of shoes you can go in the water with. Can you walk in the water with those shoes? Do you think? Can you walk on water? Hi folks, this video is brought to you by New Bloom Botanicals. How many of you have heard of CBD and have wondered, where do I get the best CBD? Well, I've got it for you with a special link in the description. This is nanotechnology, organic, best products I can come up with. CBD helps with stress, anxiety, your immune system, aches and pains if you're an athlete or if you're just plain old sore, arthritis. I think you're gonna be delighted with the results. Support the channel and use this link for a discount on the best CBD product line. He's not feeling so good.
Doesn't feel good.
What's going on?
He had a fever Monday evening.
Okay. Today's Friday, folks, so that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days. I can count.
I mean, his main symptom is the fever with this new cough that developed 2 days ago. So he had the fever for 2 days, and he developed the cough. It was dry, and now it's a little bit more congested sounding.
Okay. And anybody else sick at home right now?
The baby just started getting sick.
Oh dear. How old's the baby?
He's 14 months, so.
Okay. Well, at least that's better than 2 months.
Yeah.
RSV, for example, or croup can be so much worse for the younger they are. This is so interesting. So I am hearing more and more kids getting sick, almost like we were entering winter.
Yeah.
And it's July, this middle of summer. I think, time will tell, but I think quarantine for as long as we had it, really kept people away from the opportunities to spread things. And now we've got schools opening, camps and daycares, and kids are back to sharing germs.
Yeah.
And they haven't had their immune system exercised all this time. And I think you're just a little more vulnerable when you have that situation. Any high fevers? Last night, 102.7. That's up there.
Okay.
All right. You got a nice red cheek and slightly red lips. This is a light. See that? See the light? Doesn't hurt. I'm gonna peek in your ear, okay? We'll just take a look. Doesn't hurt. That ear's fine. Good job. You have a good ear. We'll look at the other ear. And that one's also fine. So I'm gonna listen to your heart. Let's see. Okay. You have a nice scar on your chest. Remind me, I could look in the chart to remember, but
he has the aortic correctation.
Oh, at what age was that fixed?
5 days old.
Nice catch.
Yeah, St.
Wow.
Vincent's caught that.
Was he in the hospital when they caught it?
He was at St. Vincent's when they...
They hadn't discharged him yet from the hospital?
No.
Was he early?
No. And it was a complete...
complete coarct?
Yeah, completely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can we show everybody? So this young man has a nice scar right down the middle, and a couple little scars where they had to put tubes.
Yeah.
Tickle, tickle, tickle. So you're like a miracle.
He is.
Coarctation, the aorta, is the biggest artery that leaves the left side of your heart that's pumping blood all the way to your toes. Right? It's this huge artery. It goes around. And when you have a coarct, it's like pinched so tiny to where the blood doesn't come through. And because when babies are born in the womb, they have another little way that blood flows called a ductus, and that closes normally at birth. But if you have a coarct, it might stay open longer, and you think your baby's okay, but then when it closes, there's no blood flow anywhere, and it can be dangerous. It's something you don't want to miss as a pediatrician, and so you got to catch it early, and they did.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. And the way they catch it usually is you'll feel pulses, like when you feel for these pulses here, which are fine right now, or down here on the foot on a baby, or these ones, inguinal pulses, femoral pulses, you don't feel them because the blood's not getting there. And it's like, oh, and then you check blood pressures, and they might be okay in the arms, but they're not. The blood's not reaching the legs. So, nice catch there. Little tidbit for everybody. All right, I'm just interested to see how his heart sounds now. It actually sounds good.
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, somewhat. I would expect I'd hear stuff. What did they do to fix it?
So they did an anastomosis. They
Yeah.
clipped it.
So
brought
they
it
actually
back up.
really put it back together.
And then he also had a hole between his pulmonary and his aorta, so
Wow.
they actually had to patch that up as well.
Wow, they had major surgery and it's one-time fix. It's good.
It's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
He did great.
All right, I'm going to listen a little more carefully to your lungs. Got distracted by your beautiful scar. You take a big breath, go. Want to blow on my finger? Good job. Want to blow again? Good one. Nice. Blow harder. Harder. Good. You're a good blower. All right. Lungs sound good. So I'm not worried about pneumonia. Does he sound hoarse at all to you, his voice?
He started getting hoarse even before he had a cough,
Yeah.
like just a little bit in the
Yeah.
voice. And
Okay.
then he got the dry cough. Last night he was coughing so much he was gagging himself.
Okay.
But he doesn't sound as hoarse today as he has, I guess, the last few days. So.
Okay. So, this is a great case to just help people think through what's going on, because we're going to see this all winter long, and we usually do in a pediatric office. And your two exposures are typical winter exposures. It's just weird that it's in the summer. But RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, which causes bronchiolitis, which is a wheezing kind of an illness. Wheezing and you work in the hospital, so you know what wheezing is. But for our viewers, wheezing is a squeaky exhale. So it'll sound like this. Or if you have a stethoscope, you'll actually hear it, that squeaky, prolonged exhale. Croup, on the other hand, which is caused by flu or para-influenza, typically is the main cause. You get swelling up here in the airway right around the voice box, and you get noisy breathing. And it's like inhale, usually more than exhale, but
Like
it's usually
siren?
both. So it sounds like this. Like a seal. That noisy inhale, that's croup.
Okay.
I get myself hoarse when I do it. So if you hear that, you know it's croup, probably parainfluenza, could be the flu, could be influenza. So when I have really sick kids who have those sorts of things going on, we need to figure it out. So just for sort of so we know what to expect. Is it RSV? Is it flu? We can send off more expanded respiratory panels. In this world of COVID, we would normally nowadays also do a rapid COVID. We still could, although you just had it in your family 2-3 months ago, so it's pretty unlikely that it's COVID. We've actually run several tests this week and they've all been negative. So I don't think that's really a huge concern, and you had the exposure at school of both RSV and croup. So, question for you. Because he's not in distress and he's big enough that he won't get in trouble from either of these illnesses, we could just do nothing and say, hey, we've listened to his lungs, they're okay. Did they happen to get a pulse ox?
Yeah, I think it was 96 or 97.
Okay.
I've actually been checking it at home.
You have one at home anyway? Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
you've got...
He doesn't drop below 96.
Yeah, 98. So you've got the tools. If he gets down below 93, come back.
Okay.
Since you have the ability to follow that, I don't feel compelled that we prove that it's RSV or influenza,
No.
but I'm happy to do it if you want. We have a rapid test.
No, I think my only concern was just the fever for
Yeah.
4 days.
I do still need to look at his throat. So what we're going to do for that, if you lay him across your lap on his back, head towards me, and then you hold his arms.
He has to look at your
Yeah,
throat.
we're just going to look
okay,
at your
buddy?
throat. You're doing good. Good job. Now you hold his arms. Good job.
Good job, buddy.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's slightly minimally red. I think because of the prolonged highish fever, we really should rule out strep because that's treatable. Given his illnesses that he's been exposed to, it's probably not strep. Are you okay with us checking for strep?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be one last real quick. We're going to do the same thing.
Back this out.
Just, yep, I'll be fast.
Quick.
All done.
All done.
You did great. There's the croup. You hear that? That's Croup.
Here, buddy.
So Dalton, I am so sorry, okay? I'm sorry I hurt your throat. I'm really, really sorry, okay? You did so good. You were so brave. I think we'll get you a prize for being so brave. While the nurses run this test, we're gonna get you a prize. We have a prize box.
Wow.
So let me go grab that. And throat culture. Let's get him my prize. He suffered through two gags. Okie doke. All right, you get to pick a prize. That one? Okay. All right, perfect.
And it is negative.
How come?
1 line.
That's all it takes to know.
That's all. If there was 2 lines, it'd be positive.
Rapid strep was negative.
So good.
Write you a prescription for some prednisone. I was chatting with Mom, and she mentioned that last night he was up till beyond 1 o'clock with this hoarse cough. It got worse at night, which is what we see with Croup. Croup is a viral infection of the vocal cord, viral infection of upper respiratory that affects the vocal cords with swelling, and it can, I'm trying to talk and write, that's not very good. It can cause that swelling, which causes that hoarseness, and if it gets really severe, you're struggling for air, so we don't want that. At home, if you're starting to get severe, oral steroids work amazing. Prednisone, prednisolone, something along those lines. It is available in a liquid. It is the worst tasting thing of all, so warning to parents, if you're gonna treat with prednisone, you gotta be brave. You gotta just give it. And yeah, it's not fun. Croup, viral infection, affects the vocal cords. You get some swelling. If it's bad enough to make you scared that you're not getting enough air, home management includes mist. We talked about cool or warm mist. And keeping kids calm really helps. If they get upset and they're screaming, it makes the inflammation worse. It was one of the few times tough love's not the time to do that when they're this sick. We just love on them, keep them comfortable, keep them happy. You can sponge bath down fevers, and in really severe cases, you can use an oral steroid, so we send a prescription for that.
Okay.
And then, by all means, to the ER if you think it's gotten to that point where you're nervous that he's not getting enough air. Okay. If he's acting air hungry, if he's acting scared, if he's drooling, like he can't breathe and he's leaning forward drooling, he's not able to swallow spit, you've gotten swelling that bad. Wow. That's rare. Okay. Like I've never seen it, but theoretically, right? Things to watch out for. And I haven't had a kid hospitalized for Croup since I opened this practice.
I was gonna say madera.
13 plus years. It's not going to happen. Don't worry. You've got your tools. I mean, you've got a pulse ox. You know what you're doing. Awesome. So thanks, buddy. You did a really good job. You don't have strep, so we don't need antibiotics. And you're going to get better in a few days. Usually this only lasts about 3, 4, 5 days. Symptoms are worse than when you're young, like less than 2 or 3. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for letting us film.
Oh, yeah, you get your popsicle and your coffee?
That was a good day.
Good day.